guys, how's it going? Hopefully everyone is doing well whenever you tune in and see this. So this is going to be a general reading for Sagittarius. It's general, so it can cover anything like love, work, friends, family, health, etc. So always take it how it resonates for you if it does. And I always encourage everyone, if you don't if you haven't already done your birth chart, to get a free one online. Even if you don't know your birth time, you can still get a pretty good birth chart and find out your other placements, as we all have all 12 signs throughout our zodiac in our birth chart. So this reading may resonate for you even if you're not a sun, rising, moon, or Venus Sagittarius, okay? So always keep that in mind as well. So Sagittarius, before we get into your reading here, I'm going to do a quick little astrology rundown that's general for everyone during this time frame, okay? And again, this reading is for July 1st through July 16th, okay? So if you've watched some of the other readings for this series and you want to fast forward, feel free to do that, and I will also put a timestamp of when the tarot reading officially starts. Okay, so here we go. So your first astrological note is on July 1st, there's the last quarter moon, okay? So the moon is winding down, right, since the full moon that we had in Capricorn. And then on July 3rd, Jupiter is quintiling Uranus, okay? So Jupiter went into retrograde on June 20th, okay? So even though it's in retrograde, it's still aspecting Uranus or Aquarius qualities, since it is the ruler of Aquarius, and this can talk about rebellious, creative energy, technology, innovation, or some of the themes, okay? And the last time this did happen was last year, around May 18th, 2020 to about September 5th, 2020, okay? So there could be some similar themes coming back around the bend, or if you're just curious, you can look back and think about what you were going through during that time that might relate to these themes. All right, now moving forward, on July 9th, there's a new moon in Cancer, okay? And so some people believe the new moon is a good time to do manifestations in magic, but I believe you should do your magic and your manifestations anytime you feel like it. Some people like to do it as the new moon is then growing back into the full moon, so your manifestations or magic is growing, right? But again, do it whenever you feel, okay? And then on July 11th, Mercury finally enters Cancer, so it should be a breath of fresh air for some people, as we did have Mercury is the ruler of Gemini, and it was Mercury retrograde during Gemini season, so now it's finally coming out of Gemini and going into Cancer, okay? And it is coming out of the shadow period of Mercury retrograde on July 6th, okay? So then just a few days later, on July 11th, it will be going into Cancer, so that will be very nice for some people, all right? For everybody, I think, but it just depends. It is a general reading, okay? And then on July 14th, Pallas Athena, or Athena Pallas, okay, it's an asteroid. It's not a planet, but it's big enough to still have its power that affects humans, okay, and animals right here on Earth, okay. So the last time that this was in retrograde was May 18th to September 5th, 2020 of last year. So again, just like what I spoke about earlier, there could be similar themes going on from last year that are going to be happening again, or tying up or coming together, okay? So Athena is the Greek goddess of wisdom, right? Talents in the arts, defense, intuition, justice, and artisan themes, okay? But she also talks about, and this Pallas Athena, or Athena Pallas retrograde, could talk about in the past, if there was decisions that you made without organized plans ahead of time, it's asking you this time to now use your intellect in making decisions and then slowly act upon them, okay? And then the last note here is on July 15th, Chiron went into retrograde, okay? And the last time it was in retrograde was last year, July 11th, 2020 through December 13th, 2020. So Chiron is the Greek god of healing. He's the wounded healer. Okay, he's our vulnerability, our soft underbelly, right? And so if there was any themes around healing wounds, or not healing all the way, okay, or not healing properly, right? And we're not talking about obviously bodily wounds. We're talking about spiritual or mental, that kind of wounds, okay? It's just a metaphor, right? But these could be revisited again during this time, okay, or start to be revisited again during this time. All right, so with that being said, let's get into your tarot reading. All right, Sagittarius. So you have a pretty good reading here, I want to say ahead of time, but let's call out your cards really quickly. So you have the Sun upright, you have 5 of Staves or 5 of Wands upright, 2 of Staves or 2 of Wands upright, Queen of Staves or Queen of Wands upright, okay, 8 of Sacred Circles, or also known as 8 of Pentacles upright, and 2 of Sacred Circles or 2 of Pentacles upright. Okay, and then we'll get into your tarot confirmation cards after that, and at the very end, a couple oracle cards for you. I also wanted to say, if you're new, welcome, and if you're coming back, welcome back, of course. When you see the photo that I will be putting up, alongside the reading, just one photo of all your cards here today, you will see the first main 6 that we're going to go over are in 2 rows of 3. Okay, so the first row is energy starting around July 1st. It can be a little bit before, a little bit after, okay, and then basically going through that first week of July and first weekend of July, and then the second row is the second week and weekend of July. Okay, Sagittarius. So your first card here we're going to talk about is the Sun card upright. And again, I also want to say, Sagittarius, if this isn't your energy, it could be the energy of a person or people you're dealing with, an organization, or your general environment situation, okay? But this is beautiful energy. It's the brightest card in the tarot deck, right? It's the Sun. It's all about enlightenment. It's all about youthful energy. It's a very creative energy as well, passionate energy here. And you see this depicted. This is like an Egyptian pyramid here in this deck, okay? But again, this is a nice card and nice energy to start your reading off with here, okay? So yeah, I mean, it doesn't really get better than the Sun card, all right? But we're going to keep going and see how the rest of your reading comes out here. So your second card is the 5 of Staves, or also known as the 5 of Wands upright. This is a card that talks about needing to take life a little bit less serious, and also to rely on your support system. So normally Sagittariuses can be the life of the party and a little bit goofy. I say that because I'm a Sun Sagittarius and I have like 5 other planets in Sagittarius, but sometimes we still need a reminder too, particularly if you've been going through something very stressful recently, okay? So in this card, the way it's depicted here, you see this Egyptian scene, and there's there's 4, okay, sometimes it's 5 because it's 5, right? 5 of Wands or 5 of Staves, and they're planning something with this guy, okay? So this talks about, again, relying on your support system, whatever it is, friends, family, healthcare worker, one or the other, or all of them, whatever it may be for you, okay, to kind of have a more playful approach to the planning for the future as well, okay? So in other decks, you sometimes see this card and it looks like 5 guys are fighting with wands, but they're not actually fighting, they're practicing. And then on the ground, there's a scroll, and that's the planning for the future. And they could even be doing like architecture, right? With the wands, they could be building something, okay? So that's just, again, relying on your support system and planning for the future. But a nice energy for your second card here as well. Now, you did have 2 cards in this reading, 2 repeating cards, okay? So when that does happen, that spirit saying you really need to pay attention, because normally in each tarot deck there's 72 cards, so that's 1 in 72 chances that it will come out again, okay? So we'll get into that as they come up here, but yeah, so one of your repeating cards here is your third card, okay, is the 2 of Staves or 2 of Wands upright, okay? This is an energy of slowing slowing down, not making any action, kind of a people watching energy, and just observing before you make your next move, getting your emotions under control here too. And in the way it's depicted in this card, you see this Egyptian woman, and she's just kind of lounging on her chase lounge or whatever, her couch, okay, and she's watching all of the ships go by on the Nile River. Okay, so it's kind of, again, that people watching energy where you're not copying anybody, but you want to see how other people have maybe gone through similar situations or circumstances in their life before you make your next move. All right. And again, that could be happening more in the end of the first week or first weekend of July, but you know, it's not exact, all right? But going forward here, your fourth card, and you actually have, you have three wands, well, technically 4 wands cards or staves, that's what they're called in this deck, okay? So that could be a particular interest for some of you guys. But yeah, here you have is your fourth card, the Queen of Staves or Queen of Wands upright, okay? This is a very abundant energy, okay? This is a very positive, momentum forward energy, okay? She has the ability to see things from a higher perspective. A lot of people look up to her, okay? She is a queen, right? She's worked hard to get to this position, and she definitely has her emotions under control and only shows them to a select few, okay? So you can see with the water in the background here, again, probably the Nile River, right? Since she's an Egyptian woman here, okay? So again, anytime you see water in tarot, that talks about your emotions, all right? But really nice energy as well. All right, Sagittarius. Now going forward here, your fifth card is the 8 of Sacred Circles, or also known as the 8 of Pentacles upright. This is an energy of honing a skill or a craft, learning something new, and it also talks about evaluation of yourself or an evaluation that other people have done of you, okay, whether it's in work or a relationship, okay, but it's really about asking yourself, have I worked hard enough? Am I overworking? Okay, those kind of questions do come up as well, but you see that here with this Native American woman, and she's learning and making drums, okay, and there's different sizes in the background, okay, but really nice energy of being open to learning something. I think I was just actually speaking about that in the Scorpio reading, right? That anytime, if you watch that one, that anytime, no matter what your status is in life, your position or your age, that it's always important to keep learning new things because this makes you more abundant, okay? But beautiful, Sagittarius. And then going forward here, we have the 2 of Sacred Circles or 2 of Pentacles upright. The way they show this card with this Native American man, he's almost summoning, well, he's summoning the energy of the bear, okay? So he's summoning the bear spirit that talks about courage, hibernation, planning for the future, power, right? All of those things. So the 2 of Pentacles or 2 of Sacred Circles energy is juggling something. So you could be towards, you know, the end of the second week or mid-July, really juggling between the 3D world and the 5D world, the paying the bills, and then your hobbies, or you know, the more enjoyment in your life, friends and family, all those things, okay? But you are going to be looking to master like the bear spirit, okay, and have more power and courage and planning for the future, okay? But that's not a bad energy to have, and I do like it the way that it's depicted in this deck, because in other decks it says, and there is a little bit of this too, but anytime you're juggling for different things, always the need to ground yourself. In other decks it shows a man standing on a dock, and there's a storm in the background, and he's kind of like precariously standing and he's juggling. He's a juggler from the circus, right? So it's like if he puts his feet down and he's grounded more, he could probably juggle better. So the same thing for you here, Sagittarius, okay? So going forward, actually this time where Spirit wanted me to talk about what was on the top and the bottom of your deck is actually with your confirmation card. So they always tell me kind of different places to talk about them. So we will get into that in just a moment, but let me tell you what you have here. So you have as your first confirmation card, 2 of Wands in the reverse. you have Four of Pentacles in the reverse, and you have the Hangman in the reverse. So anytime we talk about the confirmation cards, it's usually energy from the past, okay? So in the past, right, this is one of your other repeating cards, okay? They're both in different positions and different placements, you know, throughout the spread here, okay? But it's interesting to see. I'll just turn this one right side up for a second so you can see how the different artists kind of depict the same energy, okay? But this is saying in the recent past, you were possibly resisting going inward and slowing down. As a fire sign, as a Sagittarius, right, we can be, and I say that because I am a Sagittarius as well, in many placements in Sagittarius. We don't like to be patient. We don't want to slow down. We just want to go, go, go. But sometimes the universe will kind of slow us down if we don't do it for ourselves. So in the past, it was saying that you didn't want to like do people watching. You didn't want to learn from observing others. You didn't want to slow down a little bit and get your emotions in control. But then we know in the future that you do it, okay? So you can see the growth here, even in these two cards. Now, before we go forward here, I just want to show you the two cards that it's confirming. Okay, so the Two of Wands in reverse is confirming the Sun card upright as your first card, remember? And then the Queen of Staves or the Queen of Wands upright as your fourth card. So this really shows too that if you see in this card and the way that it's shown in this deck, right? When the card is right side up, she's holding this crystal ball up to the sun, okay? She's trying to find the enlightenment, the answers, the aha moment, I finally understand. But she won't do it because she doesn't want to slow down, okay? But here, you found it anyway, okay? So again, that's just kind of confirming that this is more of a past energy because you do end up doing it. And then because you get this enlightenment, this aha moment, this spiritual download, I finally understand something, okay? This is going to put you in the energy of the Queen of Staves or Queen of Wands energy, of having your emotions under control, of being in your power, okay? And manifesting and positive momentum moving forward. So that is beautiful. All right, now real quickly, I want to show you here. Yes, this is where Spirit wanted me to talk about what was on the top and the bottom of your Llewellyn deck, or the one with the yellow border, the confirmation cards I use. Okay, so anyway, you have Ace of Cups in reverse and the Magician in reverse, okay? And they wanted me to talk about it in relation to the Two of Wands in reverse that we just spoke about, okay? So anytime we talk about what's on the top and the bottom of the deck, right, this is past energy, so is this, right? And it's just why certain cards have come out, or energy, past energy that's still lingering around. So this is saying in the recent past, okay, you were having a hard time manifesting in a difficult situation, Sagittarius. And I say that because this Ace of Cups, the way it's depicted in this deck is there's these lotus flowers, right? If the card was right side up, the lotus flowers are very resilient plants, okay? They don't obviously grow in the ground, right? They're in the water, but regardless, they still grow. And so because the Magician is next to it in the reverse, you probably had a hard time manifesting something, or something with your confidence, or feeling like you had all the tools that you needed to manifest whatever you want to bring into your life or get rid of or whatever, right? But because of this difficult environment or situation, you kind of maybe let that hold you back in some way. And this also was possibly why the Two of Wands was in the reverse in the past, because you didn't want to slow down and look at, hey man, you can still manifest in this difficult situation or these circumstances that you don't like, okay? But maybe you weren't ready to do that yet in the past. But then we know that you do it in the future, so that is good. All right, so moving on forward. Your second confirmation card is the Four of Pentacles in the reverse position. This is actually how you want to see this card, because this talks about letting go of control or fear, or operating from a place of lack, okay? So maybe in you know, not the recent past, but the past, whatever that is for you, right? You were trying to control something too much, or you were really fearful, or you were scared there wasn't going to be enough, okay? But here you're starting to let that go, or you started to in the recent past let that go, and you're doing that even more. And the more that you do that, Sagittarius, the more that you come into the energy of the Five of Staves, that it's confirming upright, and the Eight of Sacred Circles or Eight of Pentacles upright, okay? So the more that you let go of control and fear and operating from a place of lack, okay, the more that you can be open to letting your support system help you and play a little bit more and plan and practice for the future. And the more that you do that, you're also open to learning new things and evaluating yourself from an honest place, or letting other people evaluate you also from an honest place, okay? But really nice. Excuse me. Now your last confirmation card here is the Hanged Man in the reverse position. So I would say out of all of your cards, this is the one that I would consider, you know, a warning sign, or like not the most positive, but again, all cards have positive and negative throughout, okay? But this is talking about, again, there could be, and this could be past energy, but also a little bit of a future, like a warning, like I said, where in the past, there could have been a perspective change that you really needed to do, okay? Just change your perspective about something, and also keep yourself more grounded. But with it in the reverse position, there's a resistance, there's a block there, still a little bit, okay? And it's coming in here and it's confirming the Two of Staves or Two of Wands upright, and the Two of Sacred Circles or Two of Pentacles upright, okay? So this is talking about the more that you, Sagittarius, change your perspective a little bit, be open to changing it, even if you don't change it right away. This will bring you to slow down and to take almost, I like to think of the Two of Wands or Two of Staves as a very similar card to the Hermit card, right? Using your intuition, or the High Priestess card, right? Of going inward and finding your own answers. The more that you slow down, find your own answers, okay? And be open to other people's answers as well, the more abundant you will be, and the more that you can get into that bear spirit that we talked about before, about being powerful, being strong, and planning for the hibernation or the future, right? That's what it means for us, okay? So it could, again, just be a little bit of a warning there. All right, now real quickly, before we get into your oracle cards, we're almost done. This is where Spirit wanted me to talk about what was on the top and the bottom of your other deck here. The main six, the Ancestral Path Tarot, okay? So again, this is energy from the recent past, why certain cards have come out and just lingering around, okay? So in the recent past, you had the World upright on the top and you had the Magician in reverse. This is your second repeating card. Remember, you had the other Magician in reverse. Where are you? Just so you see, these are both from the past, and they're both in the same position, okay? So it's interesting always to see how the artist depicts it there, okay? But they're both in the reverse, and this is both past energy. So it's just kind of going back over how in the past you had a hard time manifesting, being confident about yourself, and feeling like you had all the tools you needed to start something or finish something, whatever you're trying to do, right? So anyway, it's interesting when we look at from your other deck here, right? Your other two, top and the bottom of the deck. You had the World, okay? The World is a very positive card. It means new beginnings, a fresh start, having everything that you need. When you see the World card in other decks, sometimes you just see an island that like you can buy and there's nothing there and you can build it. You can build whatever you want, right? But the Magician is still in reverse. So that kind of goes back to what I was saying with the other Magician. You had the Ace of Cups in reverse, right? About not wanting to manifest in a difficult situation. Like, that is a lie. You can still do it. And if you just switch this around, right, you have the World there. You can start anew. You can build again, whatever you want to do. Okay? Now, real quickly, they wanted me to talk about it all with the Hangman in the reverse position. So this talks about, again, if you just slightly switch your perspective here, Sagittarius, okay, or be open to switching your perspective, then you can regain your confidence, feel like you have all the tools you need around you, and then you can create your world, all right? Okay, Sagittarius, we did it. We're almost there. Okay, it's getting cold out here, guys. Forgetting to bring my sweater. Anyway, let's go over your oracle cards. So your first one is karmic relationships, and it says Orion energy, polarity, soul growth, and conflict. Okay, so this is the Rebecca Campbell deck, but this talks about I'm trying to remember exactly what it says without looking it up. It says basically like, how can you grow when you're still in conflict? And the same thing about the Ace of Cups energy with the lotus flower. How can you manifest and grow in a difficult situation or while you're still in conflict? So those two energies definitely go there together. But like I said, you can always look up this card, or I'll even try to post it with in the description box below or a comment somewhere, because she always comes with like 2 or 3 pages of more info. But that's the gist of it, okay? So I'm not going to read all that. All right, anyway, your second oracle card, your love oracle message, whether you're watching for romantic reasons or platonic love or self-love, it says unrequited love. There's not enough attraction or chemistry to keep this relationship going. All right, so that could be a message for some of you guys. I know it's not the funnest one, but sometimes the truth is truth, right? And so this kind of just talks about if you're having some type of relationship difficulty, whether it's a work relationship or romantic or with friends or family, this is kind of saying that you can't just rely on the good times, whether it's attraction or chemistry. You have to, every relationship is work, even friendship, right? It's always a give and take between two people. So just something to think about. And also, if it's self-love, the same thing, give yourself love too, right? If you're giving it all your love to everyone else and not loving yourself enough, then how can you keep giving from an empty well kind of situation? All right. And then your very last oracle card is really cute. It's a Wolverine, okay? And it says you're a lot tougher than you think you are. Look how cute is that? All right, so you can also look up like the Native American power animal Wolverine symbolism, or Wolverine magic if you want to work with this during this time period, okay? But I like it. It makes me kind of think of like a porcupine too, or even like a honeybee, right? Like, you're sweet, but wait, I got a stinger too, okay? Don't test me, okay? So anyway, that is your reading, Sagittarius. Thank you guys so much as always for your support, for sharing, for liking, for your subscriptions. If you like this video and you want to subscribe, it is free. All you have to do is click on the bell icon on the bottom right and make sure that it's active, and it just lets you know when I put out new videos. So yeah, I think that's it. You guys take care, and I'll see you again next time. All right, bye.